Okay, let's talk PD a little bit. This would be more of a Rob kind of question. What is our professional development needs before starting school? What kind of professional do we have on an ongoing basis? And what's the teacher evaluation system? So I'll hit them all in one big shot here. So before the school opens, we do a 2-week intensive training, and that's usually run by our direct district level. We bring in some curriculum folks if we need to, but very structured. They're breakout sessions. We talk about the nuance of classical education, our discipline policy. We go over some of the new classical ed. We go over kind of the curriculum mapping and what good instruction look like. It's pretty encompassing. But quality teaching, everything you look at, that is what makes the difference in the classroom. Then behind the scenes, we have all kinds of micro courses. I think I have 80 of them or so that go into the nuances. So what I've flirted with is sending this out before the 2-week introduction so that the teachers could open up any one of them and kind of poke around to see what they're interested in. But it's a lot. But it's there. So how we use this tool is up to you guys. And then I spent a lot of time with the principal training. And again, there's modules behind the scenes, but really getting those principles up to speed into a classical model is important. They talk a little bit about observation. So we have this program called Lodi Teacher Observation. And it's mentioned in the application quite a bit, and it's super important, and it's been phenomenally successful for us. But basically what it involves is a pop-in. So any administrator, our district team, is popping into classrooms on a regular basis, observing, making notes. The teachers are given what we're looking for. So there's three components of what we're trying to observe. What are good teaching practices? And this is based on Danielson. What is going on with the students? Are they engaged? Are they paying attention? Are they watching? And then classical elements. So in a beginning school, we're spending a lot of time up here. We just want to make sure good teaching practices are happening, and we're observing this a lot. Then we're moving up the food chain into the classical elements. And usually by year 2 or 3, we start seeing more and more of this kind of stuff happening. Behind the scenes, the teacher doesn't see this. It's more for us at the administrative side. It generates a score and a plot. So we know the teacher, how she's doing, and where her strengths and weaknesses is. So on a classical, she's coming along. She's strong, but she's not as high. But on a just general performance, which are these two things, she's doing great. So this gives us a plot behind the scenes to say, okay, in Tampa, all the 4th grade team is struggling, or the whole school is struggling, or Miss Smith in 4th grade classroom 4 is struggling, and then we can come around and tailor our professional development around that. So basically, this is the discussion I use over and over on PD. If we have our curriculum aligned to standards, and if it's done right, and if it's clear, and if we know our objectives, and if we have our extra tickets and everything's moving, and we're doing our data-driven instruction, RTSI, NWA map, and we're tweaking and looking at this curriculum constantly, adjusting for our population, and our PD department is constantly in tune with these two levels and just tweaking and fine-tuning. This repeated cycle is how we get to excellence in our schools. So that just gives you a general idea of PD. But we do an early out once a week, and that's usually 2 hours. And then depending on what the principal wants to do, typically what we do is 2 PDs are the PD department, and 2 are up to the principal. Or we've done 1 principal, 1 breakout into small groups like a PLC, and then 2 district level or professional development that are based on global. So anything in those combinations are, of course, usable and doable and flexible. But we've kind of tried all kinds of different plans and concepts. I do want to show you one quick thing here. Why am I having a hard time finding this one? There it is. I have a map in here somewhere of the PD plan for the year. I've tried all kinds of interesting stuff. Here it is. Oh. Including, we do 1 full day breakouts. So about September, right when teachers are getting frustrated, and then again right after Christmas break, we'll pull them all together. We rent out a big church or a big hall, and we have breakout sessions, and we just work to get them pumped up again and back in. Because what I find is they get excited over the 2 weeks in the summer, then they get into the classroom. They're like, oh, I'm not doing it great. I'm not classical like I'm supposed to be, and on and on and on. And then we pump them back up and kind of say, oh, you're okay. It's part of your learning, and this is where you're at. So it's just a combination of those kind of things. We've done virtual hangouts. We call it Life Group, where we open it up to anybody, and the principals so include in that. And then they get together via Zoom once a week or once every other week, and we're reading a book together. We're talking about what's happening. We're just supporting each other, just creating more community. Of course, no, I can't find that. Oh, here it is. Yeah, this is it. So what it'll look like is we have a PD director, and we're going to run, that's David, the number 2 guy. We, depending on the enrollment and the size, we put a instructional lead data intervention, someone that's doing curriculum, someone that's really focused on teacher development curriculum at the campus, and David's working through them. We've tried this master mentor program, and we've had some successes and we've learned some mistakes. This is that life group where we get together weekly, monthly, bi-weekly via Zoom, and I can do that with leaders. We can do that just really, how do I create bigger community beyond your campus walls? We do the new hire training, anywhere from 3, 7, 14 days, depending on what that looks like. We do those breakout days, September and January, so full day. We do cross observes and video conference. We've tried that, which works really well. Then as the budgets get up there, we bring in substitute teachers and we do job embedded professional development. So very specific topics. Teachers can sign up, or we pick them to come to a certain topic if they need a skill set. And then these these drop-ins from Lodi. So there's observations post-conferences that are happening, especially after we do a training. We'll pop in the next week and tell them we're coming in to observe what they've learned and try to make sure that we're syncing that in. And then that professional development classes, we get a couple hundred hours of those. That's all living in Schoology, and they're about little micro courses, 10 minutes long or so, that can come in. And then we do the early outs, which are in most schools. But underneath all that, as you can see, we're looking at our data, we got all our curriculum in, we're doing our Lodis. So that drives this whole PD discussion. So that's kind of it in a nutshell.